Hi, we'll try this again. I don't know when I don't know where I am in the world when you guys are watching this video. Not that I'd be anywhere else but here. But I'm almost like 3 weeks ahead of videos right now. Like past May, like the middle of May, I think is when this one's going to be released. I think. But whatever. I've been very loquacious lately. We'll say that. So I'm going to put a pause on this thing, although I haven't even talked about it with you guys yet. It's been in my mind since one of the brick fats when I built that secondary building, which was the training area, but basically was a decent way of adding monorail supports, calling it a building. It was to support the monorail track. And it was only at one show, and it was like 10 stories tall. It was almost as tall as a tower. It was up past the platform of the tower that I have. But I didn't like it. And most of the reason why I didn't like it is because there was a lot of monorail track going through it. But it stuck in my mind. So what I did is I created a template of my tower where the elevators, turbo shaft are, and then the cross, and then I was coming up with another. Jeff and I talked about this with Dave and Matt on the show. I made an octagon. Yay, octagon. This is basically the same style of octagon that I used in the diamond, but this is slightly smaller. And I'm going to have 8 portals, one on each side of the octagon, for mini landing pads. Now, my issue is, not to keep on bringing this thing out, because I love it so much. If it was a teddy bear, I'd bring it to bed. No, I wouldn't. Is that this thing is relatively symmetrical, not only left and right, but top to bottom-ish. The diamond's kind of right dead center. So if I add this little level, and it's going to be like maybe 15 bricks tall when it's done. Maybe, it might be a little bit more, but that's what I'm aiming for. I'm either going to put it above because this thing has to be there, because this is the level where the monorail track goes back down to the habitat and the train station, the monorail station. So that can't go up, so I can't put it underneath here. So I can either put it where this little gray line is here, so separating the monorail level from the diamond. It's going to have those 8 little landing pads on it, and so it'll be below here. Or I think a better idea is to put it above the diamond, but below the observation deck, because it's going to stick out farther than the observation deck, possibly. And because I can put it above the observation deck, but then what's the point of having an observation deck? But then it's going to lack its symmetry from top to bottom-ish. Like as I said, I didn't know this tower was done until I saw it look like this, and then I said it's done. Right now I'm going to add 15 more bricks, either below or above the diamond, and it's going to make it look, I can't, well, I can visualize in my head, but I don't know if it's going to be a good visualization or not until I actually build it. And so basically I'm building it, then I'm going to try it. I'm going to put it together, the tower, just pull parts of the tower and stack them up and put this there, and take a step back and see if I like it or not. And I almost guarantee, even though I'm putting all this effort into it, that I'm not going to like it. But if this is the mid-May, a week later, I'm going to be at Anime North. And if I like it, it's going to be at Anime North. So if you're at Anime North and you see this video a week before, which I'm making 3 weeks before that, you might see it. Or if I just show up with this, you know I hated it and I didn't. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm also, I like planning, but I also like throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks. So, but I'm going to put this on hold for a minute. I'm going to put this thing aside for uno momento, por favor, because today I got another used lot. It wasn't a big lot. It was just, quote unquote, one set lot. And that guy there is not the lot, but it relates to the lot. So I washed the pieces earlier, and here they are. And I think just by I'm hoping all the pieces are here. Now these pieces are still wet, but I don't care. I'm going to start building this thing. So I mean, it came with this. It came with the minifigs. Now the minifigs I found odd. Like they're not the right minifigs. They are missing backpacks, and the pants are wrong. So they just kind of threw together all 3 minifigs. So there's this guy too with the white legs, and then there's the this guy here with perfectly, but he doesn't have the backpack, and they're all smiley faces. He's missing his visor, but I might be in this mess here. So there are 3 minifigs here. There's a whole bunch of pieces here. My hope and ultimate hope is that all the pieces are here, and I don't know if I'm gonna record me building this entire thing, the 6986 in its entirety. But I thought I'd start by, talking about the other thing I was working on that I'm going to put on hold now. And I got the instructions right there. And I'm gonna, like, this is kind of winging it. And, I've built before on this channel, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to build this entire thing, because it's also late right now and I'm tired. But trans rad antennas, obviously. At least 8 of them, obviously. So I keep on saying, if I wait long enough, oh, this is kind of sad. I didn't notice. It's a little, zoom in. It's a little worn, so it's one of those. It looks like he stacked like bricks together. And again, sometimes people do that, and I don't mind them doing that. Let's see if I can find anything else that I need to. I should do some sub-sorting right now. See, this is what it's supposed to look like. So, and you can see that it don't. Now, here's a question for me. Where did it go? I walk over here. And what do I got here? All my 33-degree slopes, and I do not see any original Space Police. I have see a lot of Space Police too, a lot of RoboForce, and a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, but I do not see at all any Space Police one in here, so that's kind of sad. C'est la vie. It is what it is. I'm gonna put those down here. Again, sometimes my collection has these pieces, but I think when I reconstituted all those sets before, when I did all the reviews of the classic space sets, that I would have built. And again, if you saw, it's just like this guy. I only have 1. No, I have 2 maybe. I'm hoping all the pieces are here. I reconstituted as many classic space sets as I could. Let's see, there's something stuck in here. No, I'm not gonna get that out there. I found this piece on the floor. Again, I keep on finding these pieces on the floor. It's like, I could not tell you which Boba Fett or what other Star Wars character, or if it came in any other set. I couldn't tell you, because I just don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. My friends who are experts on parts and pieces and what sets they came in could actually tell me the little antenna, helmet antenna, what that came in. But in the end, I care to the point where I'm happy that other people care. I'll say it that way, because that's what I've always said. I've always admired and appreciated other people's passion for this stuff. I do not have the passion for that specific kind of minutiae. I have passion in other kinds of minutiae that other people couldn't care less about, and I fully admit that. So we all have our appreciations and lack thereof. Antennas for helmet jetpack thingies for Boba Fett, it's a neat thing, and if I want to know about it, I know who to talk to. But in the end, It doesn't factor into my hobby appreciation, except for the fact that other people find that really, really nifty. And I'm happy for them. And the other thing is, I think I'm missing one trans red panel, and I don't believe I have any spares at all. And I did a variety of Bricklink ordering this week, 4 or 5 lots. I just ordered another one today, and the user just got back to me saying, oh, I don't ship to Canada. Well, so I'm going to cancel that order, which is fine. I'm just a little bit chagrined that parts I need, so now I'm going to have to rebuild my default listing. And I'll get those another way. But I did a whole bunch of Bricklink orders this week, and those were for classic space, 1978 to 1981, parts and pieces, because I wanted to complete some of my classic 3-digit sets, because as you may have seen, there are a few of my 924s that are missing the right color tail. They're using white tails instead of light gray tails. So I'm going to be getting those in a couple of used lots, because I ordered a bunch. This is also not making me happy. Let's see. Nope. I only have one of those. So two of those. I don't know if there's going to be 3. So it looks like there's going to be some missing pieces of this lot, which is fine. I bought it knowing that there was going to be missing pieces in it, but knowing that it looked like there's a lot of the lot here. As we can, this is one part with the set that drives me nuts. There's enough parts in here, especially just here, this guy, very important, that I would be able to hopefully go into my collection and reconstitute a whole bunch. No, is that still not one? So it looks like possibly they kept a jail cell out of this set. I got one, well, 2 of those, so that kind of tells me that both should have been in here. But it is what it is. So in the end, the tires are correct. These guys are there. These guys are there. These guys are there. Plate. I don't know if this because this is the second time. Well, I'm not going to point the camera up, but if you look at the box of the 853 I have up there, I got that off of this seller too on the marketplaces. And on this specific instance, I saw this lot well over a week ago, and I said, "Ooh, this is a nice lot," and it was from a seller that I already knew. So I said, "This is fantastic. This is exactly what I want. It's classic space." I mean, I did want the 853, and I got the 853. So I contacted him. I said, "I am very, very much interested." And then he says, "Oh, that's great. You can come by tonight." And I said, "Oh, that's great." And then the tonight showed up. Well, not tonight, but when I sent him an email a week ago, I got to the point where I'm going, do I need another one? Do I need another 6986? Like, I have one. Most of the Space Police, I have multiple copies of each one. I did have multiple copies of the Space Isolation Base, but I probably couldn't do that now. Although I should try to see if I can. Of course I can't, because I don't have enough trans-red antennas. but all the other sets, and the SP Striker, I think it's called, no, it's the Light and Sound one, whatever that set is. So what happens here is, and I'm restarting my laptop because it went into screensaver mode, and so I need 2 of those. So I contacted him again. I said, "Oh, sorry, dude, I'm gonna let this one go on by." Because it was a fantastic lot at a very reasonable price. Because if you go on Bricklink right now, the cheapest one on Bricklink is $230. The cheapest one of those. And I didn't even read the details. I'm sure like the cheapest one is missing parts, pieces, instructions, and boxes. This one, obviously, I don't have parts. I don't have boxes or instructions, but fully complete. And this one, I'm going to make fully complete, because I can. It might take a Bricklink order, but I'm going to. So it was but I said I'm going to let it go. Let somebody else have it if somebody wants it. And it was a very, very reasonable price. And then today I'm at work. And it's like I'm working and I'm going online because my friends were complaining on one of our news groups that there's never any good lots, classic space lots or space lots for in Canada, which I know is patently absurd because I certainly got a lot. No, I will say on that specific note, the complaint that there's no lots for space in Ontario or Canada can be construed as true lately. Now, 2 or 3 years ago, I was going out every week and getting classic space. Like seriously, there was so much classic space maybe 3 or 4 years ago. 7 years ago was stupid. I was going out all the time. But lately, I go on my marketplace and I go through vintage. I have for marketplace. I have a few sorts, filters. One is Lego vintage, classic Lego space, and one that just says Lego. And sometimes I go on Lego space of my filter, and I don't see any Lego space except for brand new sets that just came out, and there's like the 3-in-1s and whatever, and I'm just not remotely interested. So I let those go on by. But 3 or 4 or 7 years ago, I was going to marketplaces all the time, and I kept on all the time coming across classic space sets. And I got 6950s, like 2 or 3 of them in 1 year. I mentioned, like in the past, if you look at my videos, in the past year and a bit, I got 2 or 3 Galaxy Explorers with other parts, and I did the reconstitutions. Go look at my reconstitution videos. Those are mostly from marketplace lots. This is a marketplace lot. Now, this is a small marketplace lot, to be said, because it doesn't come with a lot. But in the end, I cannot at all complain. Oh, this is another thing so this lot's going to be missing a lot of pieces. I can see that right now because I'm in step 1 and I'm already stymied. Then I have to come over here. And there they are. Oh, there is one. Sometimes they show up in my eyes. There's one. It's right there. Usually I do a little better sorting, and now you can see when I say that I've looked for pieces. There's 2. 2 of those. 2 of those to start. Yay! Then a whole bunch of those. So I'm going to come over here now, and I should sort these out. So as I build, I sort out some big piles of whatevers here and there and everywhere. So I'm going to put those over there, and then I'm going to put that there. I need 1, 2 over there. I think I need at least 2 more of those. A lot of trans reds missing. Sylvie. Just noticing that now. 1. You can go there. You can go there. So again, I knew that going into this, I'd be reconstituting from my collection, which is perfectly fine in this instance, because again, I got this thing for a pretty good discounted price. And I said, whatever pieces are missing, I said for a minimum $230 on Bricklink. If it's under $100 to buy this lot, that's perfectly fine. Hey, and then we got these guys, 3, 4. I did a review on this set way back when I did a review on all the sets, and I do like, it's called the Mission Commander, I think. Space Police. It is called Mission Commander. I can read. And it is. I mentioned this, I believe, in my review video. It is not my favorite Space Police set, but unlike M-Tron, where all but one of the sets are just awesome in M-Tron. The capital ship in M-Tron it's fair to mediocre. And Space Police, all sets are great sets. I mean, there's not a single set that's not worthy in Space Police. They are all, from the smallest to the biggest, they're all awesome. I have a tough time. I don't know if I said it during my reviews because I don't remember these things, but I cannot right now off the top of my head tell you what my favorite set is in Space Police, but they're all good. Every single one of them, from the small little vehicle to the rover with the fantastic steering, and of course again the light and sound ship, the space isolation base. Like, they're all fantastic sets. There's not a bad one in the bunch or a mediocre one in the bunch, which we cannot say about the M-Tron, because M-Tron is also spectacular across the board except for one. And that just brings it down, and I'm sorry to say. But in the end, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm looking for something round. Looking for something round. I'm not seeing anything round. So that goes up here. And if we get into Blacktron 2, all very good sets. I would say the weakest one was the actual Alpha 1 Centauri base, Alpha Centauri base, for the lack of usage of the big base plate. Like, the landing pad's fantastic, but the lack of good usage of the big base plate I found disappointing. And so I just would remember that in my head. But all other sets in SP2, they're wonderful. So I'm trying to Ice Planet. So Ice Planet, Sat 5 is just knocked it out of the park. It's just fantastic. There's not a real weak one. And again, Ice Planet used the base plate better than Blacktron 2, the raised base plate. I think. I really do. So I think that raised base plate was used best in Ice Planet at this time. And you get the Space Station Xenon or whatever, those other ones that go. But even the base plate used, the raised base plate used in the monorail set in Unitron, if I remember correctly, they covered up like the whole thing. So what's the point, right? It was just, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've done that one. So so I'm going to have to go back into my collection to find that one. See if I actually have that. This is my round bin, obviously, for blue. And I'm looking for that guy right there. Boom. And what invariably happens, by the way, when I start doing this, because I don't want to put too much effort to find a piece in there. I usually sort it better. But if I don't find a piece, I go into my collection, I grab it, I bring it back here. And if I do find the piece afterwards, I take it out, put it back in my collection because it's a swap, right? And then that doesn't count to when I always say, oh, this thing was missing 5 pieces. You know, I grabbed 8 from the collection, but I found 3 as I kept on building. That is what it is. So those 2 are done. Oh, wait, no. Need to put something else on one. Probably should have done that before I put those things on. But what are you gonna do? Just take them in here. There's 1, and then there's gonna be 2. Now those are done. Okay, yeah. Over here, there's a 10, there's a 16, there's a total of 16. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 6, there's a 10, there's a 10. And then there's the wheel pieces, which are right there, they're already on there. this is the part where I start talking to myself because you guys are here. So I might end this now because this is going to take me a long time, and we're already 24 minutes into this, so I'm not going to waste your time with the rest of this. I might pick you up after I get this thing all built, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know if it's going to be tonight because I am pretty tired, and you know, and I have a beautiful wife and that I like hanging out with. So even though I love hanging out with you guys, I have a wife too. I have a wonderful wife that puts up with this hobby like you wouldn't believe. I don't know. Sometimes I'm amazed that she puts up with it because I say I am the luckiest man in the world. Yes. Like, hey honey, I'm gonna go buy some Lego tonight. She's okay. And she came with me. We drove together. I drove. This thing actually has a wheel. There it is. I love these wheel well pieces. I always did, going way back to the original minifigs, and I think before. They're just neat. Okay, so we got a couple. Yeah, I'm gonna cut because I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna say to you guys when I'm trying to finish building this thing. So I need another one of those too. Okay, so I'm glad I left this thing out wherever I left it. So that's 2 of these I needed. 2. And then that goes in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up because I have actually nothing else to say, and I don't want to be repetitious, even though repetition teaches a donkey. I hope everybody's doing well. Take care. I'll see you when this is done, and we'll talk some more. Stay safe.